We have that all the time where people will come in and they'll say, "Hey, I'm having trouble with my kids. They're not listening at home. Hey, I know you went through this already, maybe with your preteen, or I know your 8-year-old maybe went through this. Hey, how did you deal with this situation?" Or, "Hey, how did you handle potty training?" Oh my gosh, I don't even know how many of the girls have talked about potty training. That is, like I've said before, is so amazing, the support that the team has for one another. So going through being within the team, it is so amazing, the support. So that is something that's really great. Not only is it great as a support, but it's also really good with and maybe your family stuff and getting that advice. But something to also remember is if you're going home to a spouse, you also want to remember that HIPAA. So HIPAA is a law saying that you have to protect the privacy of your patient. So you can give certain things to let them identify. So maybe you can say, like, I had an older male that was 62, but you can't say, our neighbor down the street, Mr. Jones, because then obviously they know who it is, or that 62-year-old on our street. Even though you might have multiple 62-year-olds on your street, it's pretty easy to point it out because how many of them went to the hospital. So you have to remember things like that. But there's no problem with decompressing and maybe telling your spouse something that maybe is bothering you within work, if that's how you need to cope with something. But yeah, always find a way to maybe deal with your stress, because it's never good to hold stuff in. That can always lead to the turnover and then having you leave. We want to have a big family because we do ultimately care about everyone that comes into the organization as a whole.